Happy New Year, everyone. I'm so excited to come to you in 2024 and share how can I set better intentions for myself. And in this podcast today, I'm going to share 5 different ways that you can set goals, set boundaries, set intentions, set a 90-day plan, word of the year, like different ways that you can actually set those intentions for yourself this year because there's so many different ways that you can do it and no one way is best for everyone. So you may be hearing all the different things about the word of the year and goal setting and 90-day plan and I have to make a vision board and then I have to set a New Year's resolution and I have fed into all of these myself in the past, but I want to come to you and just share with you 5 different ways that you can do this for yourself this year and see what works best for you. Because there is no one way is the best way for everyone. You have to feel in what works for you. So let's dive in. The first is New Year's resolutions. How many of you do New Year's resolutions? I want to share some stats with you about New Year's resolutions. And when I'm sharing these different things, this is in no way to sway you from doing something or to sway you to do something. These are just things that I have done, that I have used in the past. Some of these things I am using now. And I want to share them with you so that hopefully this helps you decide what should I try. If you aren't currently doing any of these, that's cool too. But maybe you will hear this podcast episode today and think, hmm, I want to try that. That's an interesting take on that. That doesn't sound too hard. That sounds great. That sounds like it will help me throughout the year for the first quarter, for the first couple months, like right now, however that works. So the first one is New Year's resolution. So here's a couple stats about New Year's resolutions. 38% of people actually make New Year's resolutions. 9% actually stick to New Year's resolutions all year long. 80 80% of people that set New Year's resolutions actually forget about them by the time February rolls around. And 46% actually stick it out for 6 months, which is pretty good, right? But the things that people are trying to set New Year's resolutions for, fitness is 39%, diet is 33%, and finances is 30%. So those are like the top ones that people are setting New Year's resolutions for. New Year's resolutions are great. They can really help you hone in on something. When I used to do New Year's resolutions, I would break it down for myself for what's my New Year's resolution for my mental health, what's one for my physical health, what's one for my financial, what's one for my emotional stability, and what's one for my relational. So that's a way that you can break it down if you want to do New Year's resolutions. Maybe pick one per area and focus on that. Or if you're going to do a New Year's resolution, you can pick one and say, this is what my one New Year's resolution is going to be. Set that for yourself and then make sure you're keeping track of it. Make sure that you are making it attainable. Make sure you can have accountability. Tell someone else about it. Get a group of people together to work on that New Year's resolution, other people that may be doing the same thing as you. Because a lot of the time, people fail their New Year's resolution and they forget about them because they've forgotten about their New Year's resolution because it was something that other people were telling them to do. It wasn't really that important to them. They weren't connected with it. They actually set an unrealistic expectation. So if it is fitness, maybe you actually never went to the gym and you're setting that goal that you're going to go to the gym 5 days a week, 6 days a week, or maybe it's to run a half marathon and then you go all in and you're running every single day and then maybe you're getting injured. Like maybe you have to set those realistic goals for yourself because you're setting them too high. And if you, yeah, I'm all about setting high goals. But if you set that New Year's resolution too high and then you start to see a little bit of failure because you're forgetting or you aren't able to do it, then a lot of the time, then we tend to stop, right? Our mind starts to trick us. Oh, this is something you can't do. You've never been able to do this. What made you think you're going to be able to do this? And so then that's why a lot of people stop because they've set that unrealistic goal for themselves and it's just too high. It's too much. And so then you stop. A lot of the time, people will also stop doing their New Year's resolution because they weren't keeping track of it. We have to see things. We're visual people. We're visual learners. We want to celebrate ourselves. So if you are going to do a New Year's resolution, make a chart so that you can see it. Have something on your refrigerator, have something in your bathroom, put it in your closet, keep something on your phone so you can check it off. There's an app that you can use to keep track of your goals and check them off as you're doing it so you can see your streak, see how far you've come, how many days you've done it. Maybe you want to count up the days, maybe you want to count down the days. Maybe your New Year's resolution, it's easier versus being like, I'm doing this forever and say for the next 30 days. And then maybe you start at 30 or you look at however many days are in the month. So 31 days this month. And then what you do is you start to count down. Oh, now I have 30 days left. Now I have 29, 28. That working backwards. So you're counting down to one versus counting up may make a difference in that New Year's resolution that you might be making for yourself. Maybe also people fail their New Year's resolution and they stop because they made too many. Maybe you're trying to keep track of too many things. You're trying to change too many things all at once. So it might be best for you to set one New Year's resolution, to set that one goal for yourself. And then maybe after a month of getting into the habit of whatever your New Year's resolution is, reading more, drinking more water, going to the gym, running, stretching, whatever, going to bed at a certain time, not eating past a certain time, whatever your goal may be, you're keeping track of it. Once you've added that into a habit after 30 days and it feels good for you, then maybe you add on to it. So you're going to add another habit. You're going to add another goal in February. And maybe that's the way you are going to work on your New Year's resolutions. Maybe you start one the next month. So this New Year's resolution you're going to have for the month of January. You're going to succeed. You're going to do amazing things. And then once February 1 hits, you're going to keep going with that first thing that you have, but maybe you're going to add something else into it. So maybe you start by drinking water, 8 ounces of water, half your body weight in water every single day. That's your January goal. You've done that. You've succeeded. You've celebrated. You're going to keep doing that in February. And then maybe you're going to add, now I'm going to add in an extra fruit. I'm going to add in an extra vegetable. I'm going to add in walking every single day for 10 minutes, whatever that may be. Then you start to feel successful at that one and keep adding on. And then maybe by the end of the year, you have 12 new things that you've done. I don't know. That's just another way that you can actually think about it. And a lot of the time people lose their motivation. That's why having an accountability of other people that maybe are doing this with you is so powerful, because doing things in community is super, super strong. So that is the first way that you can set better intentions for yourself this year in 2024, is by doing New Year's resolutions. You can take them or leave them. I personally have stopped doing New Year's resolutions because I have actually jumped into doing a word. I don't do a word of the year anymore, but I know that's like what a lot of people do. I actually do a word of the quarter because, again, I want to reassess. I want to see, how is this working for me? How is it feeling? How am I doing? I want to reflect on it and decide if I want to do another word. But doing a word of the year is amazing. You can also look at it as like setting that intention. So whatever you want that to be. For me, past words that I have done have been joy, consistent, love. This year, the word that I have chosen for myself to do for the first quarter is receive, because for me, I look at the whole picture. So, me as a holistic person, I don't look at just one area. So, I look at my mental health, I look at my physical health, I look at my financial health, my emotional health, my relational health. So, for me, when I come up with a word, I actually will sometimes sit and meditate on it. This one is actually part of the 5 steps to finding you. This is one of the words in there. So that is part of how this came to me easily. I also was doing a yoga and intention setting class, and it just started to come to me that, like, this is really the word that I want. I want to be able to receive more. So for me, like, I want to be able to receive more love into my life from the relationships that I am in. I want to be able to receive that love, receive compliments from people, be able to receive receive financially, be able to receive that money abundantly coming into my life. I want to be able to receive that and be open to it. Emotionally, I want to be able to receive my emotions. I want to be able to receive if I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm upset, if I'm angry, if I am ecstatic, if I'm curious. I want to be able to receive those different emotions for myself. Physically, I want to be able to receive new ways to work out, receive new ideas. And mentally, it's the same thing. Receive what feels good for me. So I'm receiving messages that maybe are coming to me when I'm meditating, when I'm journaling, when I am in yoga, Pilates, when I'm in a workout class. I want to really be able to receive all of these different things because receiving is one of the hardest things for us to do because, again, we're natural caregivers. So I want to be able to receive things that are coming to me, whatever that may be. So that is my word of the year. I have a bracelet that I have made for it. I will look around and buy some visual things like maybe a receive pillow or receive, poster or something that so when I see it, I can look and see receive. Yes, receive, receive. I will put a message on my phone to just remind myself to receive throughout the day. So that's how I look at doing a word of the year. You can look at this any way you want. I like to do my word of the year now as like a feeling. I used to do where it was some kind of achievement that I had to make or a goal that I was going to be setting. But recently, the last 2 years, it's really been almost like that feeling. Like I want to feel love. I want to feel joy. I want to be able to feel myself receiving abundance and love coming my way. So, different things that you can kind of look for when you are doing, whether you do a word of the year or whether you do a word of the quarter. You can look at your business. You can look at being a mother. You can look at your spirituality. You can look at your health. You can look personally, like I said earlier, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, relationally, and think what one word will encompass all of those areas holistically. What will that look like and feel like for me? That will be really cool. And you can, like what we've done before, it's fun when it comes up in my memories. My whole family did a word of the year and then we made rocks. So we painted rocks with our words so we could place it in our room or you could put it in your pocket and have that with you at all times. So another step that you can do to set a better intention for yourself is you could do that New Year's resolution. You can also set a word of the year or word of a quarter, word of the month, however you want to do that. But again, this is to help you with that intention setting for yourself so that you can have the best year coming up in 2024. The next way, so the third way that you can set that intention for yourself is vision boards. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see like my vision board actually right behind me on my office wall. I love to look at it. I love to feel into it. I like will burn some sage like in my office and just like feel in and look at and really feel my vision of what I want for my life, my future, my year, however you want to do it. And vision boards are great. I've done a vision board workshop before where you really look at all of those different areas that I mentioned back for word of the year, but you want to ask yourself some questions. So here's the three main questions that I ask myself when I am creating a vision board, when I am hosting a vision board workshop or class, and I walk people through this when we are meditating and then also guiding them in here's how we can start to work out this vision. So here's the first question. Who do I want to be this year? So that means how do I want to feel? How do I want to act? How do I want to live each day? So that's the first question you can ask yourself when creating that vision for yourself. And again, you can do a vision board for the year. You can do it for the 5 years. You can do it for the 10 years ahead of you. I'm best doing things closer together versus creating a huge vision for the rest of my life. Because again, like I can set that vision, but things are changing and shifting. And so I love to work in the here and now and the closer and think, what do I want this to feel like now, like this next year? What do I want to call in for this year? And then abundantly more things happen. So you have to decide, how do I want to do this? And this is things you can play around with, right? Right? There's no set rules on how you have to do this. You can do it however the heck you want. So that's the first question. Second question, What do I want to do? So this is as far as what I want to do for travel. What do I want to do for my business? What do I want to do for my marriage, my kids? Do I want to do something new as far as like a career and work? Do I want to volunteer more? So what do you want to do in this next year? What do you want to do in 2024? Are there places that you want to travel? What do you want to do with your kids? What about your marriage? All of these different questions are strong and powerful for you and that vision that you want to create for yourself. And then the last question to again guide you in that vision board creating that vision you want to create for your life is what do you want to have? And that is as far as like, yes, material things, but your house, cars, money, freedom. Do you want more freedom, time freedom, work freedom, life freedom, love freedom? What do you want that to look like? More free time? Do you want to be able to have all of that abundance coming to you? So, what do you want to have? So, those are the three important questions. Who do you want to be? What do I want to do? And what do I want to have? Are the three frameworks for actually using that vision board. And then what you can do is you can create it on a canvas, like I've done behind me and on YouTube. You can do it on a poster board. People do them on the computer. There's apps that you can do. You can make it a screenshot so that you can have it on your phone so you see it every single time you open your phone. You can take some of those visions and you can make it into your screensaver for your computer. The sky is the limit for everything that you can do. But then what I love to do for my vision board, and this is a great quote that I came up with that I found. This is a great quote that I found is your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. And that is by Carl Jung. And I just love that quote because it really dives into looking inside of you, what you want for your life, what you want for your vision versus what everyone on the outside is telling you to do. So that is the third way that you can set that intention for yourself this year. The fourth one is doing planning for the year. And this doesn't work as well for me, but you can do it. You can get yourself a big like poster that they sell them at, superstores where it's like each month and then you can lay out, okay, I want to do a summit. I want to attend more meetings. I want to host a retreat. I want to launch this course, whatever that may be. You can look at your year and then you can plan it out. Like, what are my goals for this year? So you can think about your business goals. You can think about goals for your family. You can think about your health, your relationships. You can think about your wealth. Like, what do you want to create financially? Your marriage, any travel. And of course, you have to add in that self love for yourself. These are all things that you can do in your yearly plan. If you want to plan out your year, if that feels good to you, because you like to see the big picture. For me, I like to work in smaller increments, which I'm going to talk about in number five that we can do. But if that works for you, think about how I can do this. What feels good to me? Maybe you are looking at your travel for the year. Maybe you work for a business and you have to be traveling for that. Maybe you're going to retreats. Maybe you want to do more personal development. So you're going to map that out so you can really look at here's what I have for the year. Here's what my kids are doing. Maybe my kids are in travel baseball. So I do like to look at that for the year. Like, how much am I going to be traveling this year? First of all, for financial, for cost, but then also, where are there months, which is the summer for me, where I am going to be doing a lot less, like business wise, because I'm on the road, I'm driving, I'm traveling, I'm at games. I want to be present on purpose with my kids and my family. So, really look at that for yourself. Think about those goals that you have for your business. Maybe you're launching something new. If you do travel a lot, think about that. How about maybe your health goals for yourself, what you want that to look like? And then you can just map that out. Maybe you want to try different classes and different courses. Maybe you do have that personal development goal. So you can kind of map that out. So then also maybe it's not just spur of the moment. Like you have that framework that like how much am I spending? I'm allotting this much in my budget for spending for travel, for whatever that may be. And that year big picture looks really good to you. I just would say make sure if you're setting that big picture, that 1 year plan for yourself, know that you can also be flexible because life is life. Things come up. You are a mom listening to this. So our schedules can change. So I would suggest if you're going to make that yearly plan, also know that you can be flexible, that it is not set in stone. Set those boundaries for yourself that you know this is my plan, but also know that I can shift and change if something doesn't feel right as it gets later in the year. Maybe you set your yearly plan and then every quarter you reassess it. You look at it and say, okay, let's look at this next quarter that I had planned out. Is that still going to work for me? Is it not? Am I too far ahead? Maybe I need to make even bigger plans for myself, or maybe I kind of fell behind because of whatever reason. That's okay. That's why we're reflecting. That's why you're looking into this and seeing if this feels right. What I like to do too is set a 90-day plan, which would be step number five of how, or number five for how you can set that intention for yourself that's better for you. So a 90-day plan is basically, it's like looking at that yearly plan, but you're just setting it in smaller increments. So that 90 days is kind of what I do for my word of the quarter. You're setting that 90-day plan for like the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March. What do I want this to look like? What do I want to do in my business? Maybe I'm resting more. Maybe I have so much travel. Like maybe I'm batching my podcast episodes. Like you can really look at this and focus on all of those different areas. If you are a business owner, you can look at that, or whatever your career is, you can look at 90 days. Maybe you have that goal for yourself that you want to set for your business. Maybe if you work for somebody else, maybe they've set a goal for you and you are trying to reach that goal. So you're going to really work at that. I just want to make sure I have written down here self-care. You want to make sure you're caring for yourself during all of this, because you do not want to hustle, hustle, hustle so much that you're making yourself sick and it's not worth it, right? So I would say make sure everything that you are doing, that you are also scheduling time for yourself, making sure that you are taking time each quarter to get a massage, to have a day to yourself, to make sure you are going out for walks, like you're taking care of your health, because that is the most important thing so that you can thrive, so that you can have this incredible year. So think about for your 90-day plan. Again, what you want for your business this 90 days. What are you really going to focus on? And that can be for your career as well, your family for the next 90 days. Like, what are you really going to focus on for your family? What about your health goals? And that could just be getting more sleep. It doesn't have to be complicated, my friends. Your relationships. So what are your relationship goals? What are your wealth goals? What are your love and marriage goals? Your travel goals? And again, that self care goal. So just to recap the 5 different ways that you can set intentions for yourself in 2024, or whenever you are listening to this podcast, because it will live on forever. The first one is New Year's resolutions. The second one is doing a word of the year or a word of the quarter or a word of the month, whatever you want to do. The third one is creating a vision board. The fourth one is plan for the year. And the fifth one is a 90-day plan. And I hope that you are able to take one of these great intention setting tools and use them for yourself. Please come share on social media. Let me know, like send me a DM on Instagram. Which was the one that you decided to do? Or what do you do? Or do you do something different that I left out? I'm sure there's so many other things that you are doing or that other people are doing. I would love to know about them. I'm always learning. If you go to Spotify, you can actually send me a message. There's a question and answer in Spotify. You can send me that message on here. Comment. Let me know, what are you doing? Let me know which one of these 5 intention tools are you going to use this year? Which one are you going to try first? Maybe you're going to do multiple ones. I know for me personally, I am doing that word of the quarter. My word is receive. I am going to do a 90-day game plan for myself. And I am also going to create a new vision board, because this one right up here just needs a little bit of an update. And I just want to make sure that it still all feels good for where I am right now. So thank you so much. I can't wait to come to you next week, where I will be celebrating my second year of doing this podcast. So I'm going to share some of the top podcast episodes from the past year to 2 years. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast, and I will see you next week.